You're listening to the Telltale channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com. So I found this interesting article on rightwingwatch.org about the QAnon conspiracy theory. I talked about it in a video last week on my main channel, I believe, or recently on my main channel anyways. The bottom line with the QAnon conspiracy is there's this 4chan poster that calls himself Q Clearance Patriot, and he started posting a bunch of stuff about Hillary Clinton is about to be arrested. She's currently being detained, claimed to be a member of the government with inside information, and a whole bunch of other really weird, bizarre stuff. And they built up this whole lore around it. And it's turned into a full-blown cult at this point. I'm very comfortable now calling it a cult. It's a conspiracy cult. So what is going on with QAnon and Donald Trump and the pandemic at this immediate moment? There's this QAnon conspiracy theorist named Deanna Lorraine, I guess, and she had something to say about it. Let's listen to the video and see what she had to say.
A lot of people say this is for optics, okay? You know, there's the theory that this is all just optics. Look weak when you're really strong and in control. Trust the plan, trust the plan. But, you know, as much as I want to trust the plan, and I've had very much faith since day one, it's getting a little bit dicey, let's be honest. And it doesn't look like Patriots are in control and winning here. I want to trust the plan, but at the same time, we've got 3 months till the election, and we have to look at the reality of it, and the reality doesn't look good for us. The reality looks like we're getting our freedoms infringed on more every single day.
Okay, let me just pause there for 1 second. So this person is saying she's getting her freedoms infringed upon basically every single day. How? This is an extreme right-wing conspiracy cult. How is the right wing getting their rights taken away? What rights are they getting taken away? I could make a solid argument for left-wing people getting their rights taken away in the sense of protests, for example. We've got people being arrested and beaten for peacefully protesting. There are peaceful protesters out there being arrested and beaten. So that's a fair argument to make, but how are right-wing conservatives getting their rights taken away in this country right now? I'm not connecting the dots on this.
Is now, we can't even talk about that anymore on the internet.
What she's talking about here, she's referencing the fact that QAnon accounts were just basically deleted from Twitter recently, like 7,000 accounts or something like that. And she's saying you can't talk about it on Twitter or talk about it on the internet anywhere, blah, blah, blah. It's not actually true. You can talk about it on the internet. You can talk about it on your own website, your own platforms. If you're using other people's platforms like Twitter or Facebook, for example, you cannot expect to have free open access to whatever. They have the right as a private company to kick you out, basically. Now, is that right? I'm not making any claims as to whether or not that's right now. I'm not going to address that. I'm just saying you do have the ability to create your own website. Let's continue.
No social media, Facebook, Twitter. If we talk about it, or if we're even associated with anything that has been mentioned in the last couple of years, we are going to get deplatformed permanently.
That's not accurate. I'm talking about it right now, and they're not deplatforming me permanently. I talked about it on my main channel, and they demonetized it, but I'm going to put forth the argument that if I had changed a couple of things in it, they probably wouldn't have demonetized it either. They aren't preventing people from talking about it at all. They're preventing people from promoting misinformation, basically. That's pretty much what it is.
So I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like Patriots are in control. We're just sitting back and waiting and waiting. But This is like a save our ship situation, I think. I don't think this is optics. I don't really think that this is just optics. I would
Let me explain the idea behind what she's saying here. Q's claims, like I said, Q is an actual poster, basically, on 4chan, and now on their own website, I think. Q is claiming that there is a cabal behind the scenes trying to take Donald Trump down. And Trump is basically pulling the strings to create this scenario where he's going to have all of the bad people in government arrested and taken off to jail, and he's going to clean house. He's going to fix everything up. And he gives little winks to the press, too. Like, he'll say a storm's coming randomly with no context. That is something that QAnon, that's a dog whistle that QAnon picked up on and buys into, basically. Things like that are Donald Trump's little ways of winking to conspiracy theorists. So the grand plan, basically, as QAnon is saying here is, or as Deanna Lorraine is saying, is that Donald Trump is going to save everybody and fix everything, and it may look a little bit rough right now, but he's really working behind the scenes to fix everything, and pretty soon you're going to see everything is going to change. So she's saying she's basically losing faith in that plan. She says, I'm trying to have faith in the grand plan here, but, you know, it's not working out in our favor. It's getting really bad for us now. So let's continue.
to believe that it's just optics, but what kind of optics is this? That we're losing control? I know that he's upsetting a lot of his base right now with his actions and with him, you know, starting these coronavirus press conferences again, yet going along with the lies and not actually exposing the truth.
So the claim is that the coronavirus is fake. That's what they're saying. The QAnon group believes the coronavirus is a hoax, and they see Donald Trump going along with it, and it confuses them. They're starting to think like, well, he just has to pretend that it's real in front of the press, but behind the scenes, he's doing things to try to fix the situation and bring it down and expose it as the lie that it is. That's what she's saying.
Tweeting out that masks are patriotic.
Yeah, Trump tweeted out recently that masks are patriotic, did a complete 180 on masks, says that it's basically a good thing to wear masks, trying to encourage people to wear them. I think that took a lot of people by surprise, not least of which is me. I was taken by surprise. I did not expect Donald Trump to do a 180 on that. But QAnon believes that it's a hoax, believes that Trump knows that it's a hoax, and is baffled by the fact that he would say that patriots would wear face masks. Why would he say that if he believed that it was a hoax? It doesn't really go along with the narrative that Q is building.
We haven't had any measurable actions taken against these huge big tech censorship. We've only gotten more and more constrained and suppressed.
Another thing to mention here, Donald Trump was talking about basically repealing Section 230 so that it would pretty much make big tech platforms like Twitter and Facebook responsible as publishers for everything that their user base ever said, ever. And that was Trump's attack on them. That wasn't going to benefit Trump. That wasn't going to benefit the world in any way, shape, or form. That was purely retaliation. That was purely to ruin Twitter. That was their intent. That was the intent behind it. To ruin Twitter. I think he pushed through an executive order on it, but now it has to be checked by the courts and things like that before it can actually go into effect. And it probably won't, because it's an extremely harmful move that doesn't help anybody, including Donald Trump. It's purely retaliatory. So anyway, that's what she had to say about it. Let's give the article a read that's connected to this and see what it has to say. Again, this is on rightwingwatch.org. This is by Kyle Mantilla. The title is QAnon conspiracy theorist Deanna Lorraine is struggling to trust the plan, quote unquote. During her live stream broadcast yesterday, Trump cultist, QAnon conspiracy theorist, and failed congressional candidate Deanna Lorraine expressed doubts about the QAnon community's mantra that its members must always trust the plan and keep the faith that President Donald Trump is successfully working behind the scenes to take down the deep state and its global network of satanic, demonetized, regardless of everything that may appear to contradict that core belief. Lorraine, who was already upset with Trump for wearing a mask during a recent visit to Walter Reed National Medical Center, said that it was difficult for her to keep believing that Trump's recent statements and behavior were simply optics, quote unquote, meant to distract mainstream America, because when she looks at the world, it doesn't look like patriots are in control and winning here. A lot of people say this is for optics, she said. There's the theory that this is all just optics. Look weak when you're really strong and in control. Trust the plan, trust the plan. But you know, as much as I want to trust the plan, and I've had very much faith since day one, it's getting a little bit dicey. Let's be honest, and it doesn't look like patriots are in control and winning here. I want to trust the plan, but at the same time, we've got 3 months until the election, and we have to look at the reality of it. And the reality doesn't look good for us, Lorraine added, citing Twitter's recent crackdown on QAnon accounts. Q is now, we can't even talk about that anymore on the internet. No social media, Facebook, Twitter. If we talk about it, if we're even associated with anything that has been mentioned in the last couple of years, we are going to get deplatformed permanently. So I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like patriots are in control. We're just sitting back and waiting and waiting. But this is like a save our ship situation, I think. I don't think that this is optics. I don't really think that this is just optics. I would love to believe it's just optics, but what kind of optics is this? That we're losing control? The bottom line behind all of this is that at least this one QAnon member is losing faith in the master plan. That's a step in the right direction. My big question in all of this is, what happens when Trump leaves office? Even if it's in 4 years, what happens? Trump has put a concerted effort into building the government and the officials into a loyal force for him. Everybody in the government is loyal to him specifically. The FBI director, the attorney general, everybody is loyal to Trump. Not to the Republican Party, not to America, but to Donald Trump. What happens to those people in the government, those judges, and the normal citizens when Trump leaves office? Like, the whole facade is going to fall apart. I seriously don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what's going to happen when Trump leaves office. It's going to be really, really weird when people's, like, religious faith in the guy is dashed to pieces. It's going to be really interesting.